Well, it's the first Friday of Lent right now, so even though I can't have meat today, there's definitely some good things going on today. For example, just got finished reading the newest chapter of One Piece. Good morning, happy Friday, everybody. Yes, just finished reading the newest chapter of One Piece after a 2-week stint. Man, it was worth the wait because this chapter was so incredibly awesome. I will definitely put a link in the descriptions if anyone cares to read it. Although, we actually picked up, a ton of information or whatever, and unfortunately, it is one of those chapters where it does end on a sort of, what's going to happen next moment? And then the chapter ends, and now we have to thankfully wait just simply another week until the next chapter comes out, as opposed to this last one where we had to wait 2 weeks. I'll tell you what, though, even though there have been times we had to wait like 2 weeks for a chapter to come out, at least they say like it's going to be on break or hiatus. At least for the most part. I mean, the beginning of this year, particularly January, that was pretty cumbersome. But as a collective whole, it's been pretty solid. So far as the Wano arc that we are in right now is going on, things are actually sort of really starting to pick up steam. I mean, we're only in the second act of it, so depending on how many acts there are, it could be X amount of this could be only maybe a tenth of what it ultimately ends up being by the time the thing is over. But yes, it was definitely a fun read. Again, I will definitely put a link in the descriptions up top or below or whatever social media platform that I mentioned you can watch this video on will be that you are watching from. So yes, there's that, and that is always nice. And of course, another thing that is always super duper nice is the fact that we have a new episode of Hot Ones yesterday. And I actually know how to pronounce Billie Eilish's last name. Again, that's the problem with Hot Ones. I love the show, but there have been quite a few celebrities where I really don't know who any of them are. I mean, and the sad part is, they're either hip-hop or music related. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do listen to music, and I do like music a lot, but, I mean, there are some artists who, at the time, unless someone were to tell me, who it was, you just flew right over my head. Messed up my hair right there. Let's see what else was there. I mean, it's true, even back in the day where, when, again, I mentioned this a while back, when, this is 2013 or whatever? No, 2009. Yeah, it was 2009, when, years before my brother and his wife got married, she made him, a mixtape. I had no idea who T-Pain was. I mean, I knew who Kanye was, but it was really more because of the song Gold Digger. Which, yeah, children don't listen to that song. Wait until you're teenagers. You can listen to it then. Okay? Good. Don't, because that contains some language that are not suitable for young minds. So there we go. Funny enough, though, that's actually is kind of funny I bring up the sort of language not suitable for children, because when I was growing up, I personally was deathly afraid of swearing. I really thought I was going to get in, the worst amount of trouble you could ever hope to be in if, my mother and my father, caught me swearing. So, for years, I legitimately tried not to. And it actually worked. I was so deathly afraid of swearing that, like, I would say words like darn or crud whenever, like, something bad happened. Like, I was that, like, deathly afraid. So, that should give you a... I'm not going to go into that any further because, you know, that's a story that doesn't really need to be told. All you really need to know is that it wasn't until I was around 17 and really started listening to rap music, specifically a lot of it from Kanye West, where I actually did start swearing. And I mean, in the beginning I sort of did curse like a sailor, but, you know, after X number of years, it's pretty obvious that, you know, you gotta keep it on the DL. I mean, when you think about it, me doing these videos is, you know, good practice for that because, you know, again, I try and, you know, keep it PG, maybe PG-13, you know, and yeah, I have technically cursed on these videos before, but at least I say if I'm going to do it or not to give you guys a brief warning, so I definitely see no fault in that. So, yes, I mean, like everybody else, I do have problems. I tend to drop a bad word here or there, but I try and do it in a way that it's not very often, not too much, and certainly not a problem for, you know, anyone else who is sensitive to that sort of stuff. And believe me, I know several people who really are. In fact, that actually reminds me of one story. This is back, I believe it was in 7th grade. We were reading this one book that involved the American Revolution. See, the New York Social Studies curriculum involved around halfway to the end of the year, we talked about the American Revolution. And when we were talking about it, we were reading this one book that... I wish I could remember the name of the book. It was, oh, it was called My Brother Sam is Dead. That's the name of the book. I remember now. It was My Brother Sam is Dead. And, you know, it actually didn't have some language that really wasn't suitable for, you know, young minds. And my English teacher, who was actually a super duper nice teacher, if I remember, she says, you know, if you see a swear word, because we actually read the book out loud in class. If you see a swear word you don't like, you know, don't look at it, don't read it out loud or do whatever. And there was this one girl who, actually I wonder how she's doing. I hope she's doing well. Anyway, there's this one girl who really did not like swearing at all. And so there's this one word that clearly was a bad word. And it was a plural version of this particular word. So at like the last second, I'm like, just say bad men. And then she said bad men. And then my English teacher is like, good save, Nick. I'm like, ugh! Like, I totally saved the day at that moment. Sometimes it's the little things that make a big difference. So, yeah. If you ever see a word that is a swear word that you don't want to say, just say a word that sounds, well, the fact I said just say bad men kind of gives you an idea of what the word was. That should give you an idea of what the word was. But, yeah. So, don't, you know, just come up with your own fun word for what the bad word really is. And I guess it can sort of, you know, mitigate the severity of saying said word. Excuse me. Man, you know, I went to bed, you guys know I went to bed late, you know, I just did a movie reaction last night of Captain Marvel, which again was totally awesome. I was even wearing the tie last night, even though technically I didn't really need to. But, you know what, I said I was going to wear this green tie throughout every video I do in the month of March, and I guess, you know, gotta keep up the theme, right? Man, I love wearing this tie. It's so awesome. Yeah. I guess, you know, fun fact, I honestly hadn't worn this tie literally since my days of tranny polling. Up until I started doing videos a year ago. I mean, again, I'm going to wear this tie throughout the month of March because, you know, it's March, St. Patrick's Day. You know, the two pretty much go hand in hand. Of course, I'm going to wear the tie then. I'm like, are you going to wear, some people are asking, are you going to wear the tie even when St. Patrick's Day is over? Well, might as well. I mean, I did a year ago. Plus, I mean, let's be real here. Some stores are giving out, you know, holiday-related themes like well over a month and a half before the holiday even arrives. I mean, the Shamrock Shake at McDonald's was out like around Valentine's Day, and I started wearing this tie on March 1st. So I think I can afford. That's what it is, to be a little loose with, you know, how I wear this tie. Although March 31st is going to be a pretty somber day because I will probably have to, I'll likely wear this tie again. Maybe in a video, maybe not. I don't know. So there is definitely that. Yeah. Gotta say, oh yeah, well that's not one thing I definitely want to stress is that, okay, it was not supposed to be cold this morning, or at least not as cold as it has been the last 3 mornings, and I look at my, you know, the temperature on my phone every time I'm about to go out to run, 5 degrees. 5 degrees. I mean, really? I mean, now it's getting to the point where it's so cold that even after I run 4.1 miles, I can still barely break a sweat. Like, the only times you can actually legitimate sweat progress is like when I take my hat off and like some sort of sweat spots on my shirt. Which is kind of funny because I'm wearing like 3 separate layers. Actually 4 layers. 5 layers if you include my windbreaker outfit. So yeah. Well actually the windbreaker outfit's probably keeping a lot of heat in. That's why I'm even sweating at all. So yeah, there's that. And here's the thing, like, the worst part is, like, this morning was so bad that my hands are so cold, my hands are starting to hurt a little bit. Don't you hate that? Like, the worst is, like, when it's so cold that your hands are numb, that, like, even, like, the slightest touch or movement, like, hurts them. Like, seriously, the other day I had, like, like, my hand was cold, and I just walked inside. I banged my head on the counter. I got this cut on my finger right here. I'm like, how did that... I mean, because I was, like, putting something on a shelf, and the top of my finger touched, like, the bottom of that shelf, which I know technically is a sharp corner, but I really don't remember being that sharp. So, I mean, I'm perfectly fine. I mean, this is a cut I had since, like, Wednesday morning, and it's now Friday, and I'm still here, so I'm doing perfectly fine. If only there was something I could have that could legitimately make me feel better, even if I'm having the worst of days. Oh, right. Today's Friday. I'm going to Rita's today! Yay! Alright, Rita's. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to that. And honestly, I'm looking forward to this weekend. Stay tuned tomorrow for my Alliance of American Football picks. And, yeah, I'll see you guys later. So, like, favorite, share, and hit that subscribe button. I can really support YouTube. Follow me on the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. As always, I'm very humble. I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I'm hopeful that we all have a wonderful Friday. And remember, if you guys don't want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. And I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices.